and welcome to Conversations with Deborah Franklin. Yep, it's your girl Deborah, and I know it is Monday night, and we are back. Y'all, it's so exciting to be on Mondays now, as opposed to trying to rush in here on Saturdays after doing a gig. But y'all, it's gonna be fire tonight. We'll be right back with you with Motivational Moment. For me, you know, everybody's like, well, it's gonna be Thanksgiving. You got Black Friday. You're gonna be cooking. You're gonna be doing this. You're gonna be shopping. Yeah, that's right. But when you are working and going after your plan and your purpose, let me tell you, when the doors start to open, all you got to do is start to walk in. And tonight, we talked a little bit last week about being thankful and making transitions, but tonight, we got to talk about going after what you want. And sometimes we get so caught up about, we were all raised to, not, for lack of a better saying, pat your own self on the back, not give yourself, accolades, not talk about yourself. And it's like, you know what, y'all? It's the season. As they said, it's a poor dog that won't wag its own tail. I said it. It's a poor dog that won't wag its own tail. You have got to come out of that place of being shy about what you can do and what you do well, because you have been in the process. You have been in the trenches. You have given your time. Now it's time for you to stop working behind the scenes, and it's time for you to come forward, because y'all, this is a season of transition. We have been talking about it. You have seen companies go and come. Think about it. Toys R Us. This the first Christmas we didn't have Jeffrey to run to. I don't even know what to do with myself, because I would go and I don't even have kids. Transition. Everything that we grew up with knowing and calling normal, because everybody knows the last minute toys, last minute car, last minute bike. Where you going? You wasn't going to Walmart. You were going to Toys R Us. So we have to start looking at when things start to change around you. Maybe it's time for you to change and start to look at some things. And you already know I got a scripture for you today. I want you to go read 2 Kings 2. And that is talking about Elijah and Elisha. So many times we always talk about, I got to catch the mantle. I got to do this. But guess what, guys? Nobody talks about the process. Yes, Elijah was the head of the school of prophets, but Elisha was his student. So that means you can't ask for something if you haven't learned anything. You can't ask for anything if you have not been taught. And the crazy part, you can ask for it, but if you're not there to catch it, what you gonna do? You know the story. He threw out the mantle. So that meant anybody that was in the school, anybody that was there, anybody that was in the mix could have caught it. But if you wasn't ready to catch it, you got to be paying attention, because you never know when the opportunity is going to come for you to take it higher. You have got to study. And most of all, you've got to ask for it. Don't be ashamed to ask for what you want, because in this season, y'all, you got to ask for it. Not only because guess what? If you studied, you know your stuff. If you've gone to the job, if you've gone to the training workshops, you've implemented what they've told you. You've actually seen success. You got to have fruit from your labor. You can't just read the book and think you're going to apply it, but you have got to have applied it somewhere to do something. So it's time for you got to study again. You got to ask for it. And most of all, that goes into you have to work for it. Again, it's not going to just come to you. You got to be paying attention to everything. You got to work, guys, because you can't think that You're just gonna wake up one day and it's just gonna all of a sudden the door is gonna open. You have got to put in the work. And when you put in the work, you're gonna be just like Elisha. You're gonna be there for when the mantle is thrown, you're gonna be able to jump up and catch it. Because again, guys, this is your season to walk in your plan, your purpose, and do what you have been called to do. You cannot sit around. If you wanna go into acting, go to the audition. Get the headshot. Yes, y'all. I'm getting ready to say this. Get a headshot. Stop sending people selfies and calling it a headshot thinking you're going to get something. That's just crazy. I said it and I mean it because I'm sick of people wanting to come on my show sending me selfies. Send me a selfie again, you won't come on. Go get a headshot. It don't take that long. I'm sorry. Did I just get on the soapbox? I think I did. Forgive me. But I'm going to get off the soapbox. But most of all, because that goes into your preparation. You have to start to prepare for where you want to go. You can't go anywhere if you're not prepared for it when you get it. It's crazy. Yes, things happen just like this. But get prepared. Because when you catch it, you want to be ready and you want to have the look. You want to be able to talk the talk and walk the walk. Because, honey, if y'all see some of my earlier headshots, but I got a makeup not right, earrings, I'm still not understanding what I was doing. But at the end of the day, they were professional shots that were done. So now for the next photo shoot, I've hired a hairstylist. I've hired a makeup artist. I've hired somebody to help me with the outfit. So guess what, guys? That's preparation for where my plan is going. I'm not telling you anything to do that I have not done myself. So guys, get ready. It's your time. We getting ready to go into 2019. Go into 2019 ready. All right, guys, have a good one. We'll be right back with our next guest. Hey guys, we got some awesome opportunities for you to jump on board with. I have to tell you, I need you to go online, go to my website, and you need to get my books. And so, but this time we're doing them as a package. You can get our holiday big sale is going to be, you can get the old book, Adjectives, which was our first baby, and then 21 minutes, 21 days of prayer and meditation, which is our second baby, and of course, the mug, because you're going to need something to drink while you're going through these books. We are doing these for $20. You get all three items for $20. And what's going to happen, a portion of the proceeds is going to benefit, this is going to be part of our Giving Tuesday, is going to go towards New Community for Children, which is a nonprofit organization that services young people grades 1 through 8 for after school and summer programming. So please go out, go online, purchase the package, and we'll get those things out to you. And they make great stocking stuffers. So if you know somebody that wants to get into, that needs to learn how to change themselves from the inside out, or just need to know how to start praying or being intentional about what they're doing, these two books are great just for that. So again, this is our holiday big sale. Go to the website, inbox me, DM me, however you see me, go just let me know, because we got a link. Oh, there is a link on the website for you to get all three items. And we got another amazing event that's coming up. Because most of you know that I am a co-host on The Tea, which is an online book review show. Y'all, we will be reviewing Michelle Obama's book, Becoming. We will be taping live in Princeton, New Jersey at the Barnes & Noble at 8 p.m. on Thursday night. I'm sorry, that's Wednesday night. That particular flyer is wrong. I posted the wrong one. It is actually Wednesday night, not Thursday night. We will be live in Princeton talking about Michelle Obama's book, Becoming. So if you are in Princeton, please come out and join us and be a part of the conversation. Please join us, and we'll be right back with our first guest. I was so excited when I read your bio because you talk about you work in some areas that I really feel that feels near and dear to me, especially in our community. What have you seen? And I'm just gonna jump right in because this question has been burning up in my brain. Okay. Have you seen an increase of people of color actually going to counseling now?
I think so. Absolutely. I know the practice I work in, I work at a mental health agency as well. Lots of people that look like us are coming.
And that's a major because, for so long that was taboo because, we had to pray it out.
Yep.
You got to pray it out. You got to think it out. Don't talk about it. Your business is your business and don't go to the doctor for nothing, especially when they start talking about mental health and counseling. So what are some of the major things that people should start thinking about when they start to think about when should I go to counseling? When I'm having a problem?
No. Well, so yes, when you're having a problem or when you find that you can't resolve the issue on your own. Like if you're married or even if it's just yourself, if you feel like you can't get out of the funk that you're in, or if you're married and you guys can't resolve that issue after a few times of trying, that's when you should come. You shouldn't wait a month, a year
until it gets so bad.
Until you're just in this bad place or you're about to get divorced. And that's when a lot of people do come to therapy, when it's just like kind of and with couples when it's kind of like too late. So you don't want to come when it's that late. As soon as you feel like there's an issue and you can't resolve it or you can't get out of that, then that's when you should come to therapy.
Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. We got to bag up just a smidgen. What areas do you specialize in? Because you specialize in some areas that are really taboo, especially in our community again. And I love it because I got tickled because so many times we don't want to talk about these areas. So what are your areas of expertise?
So I do work with individuals in a range of everything from depression, anxiety, but I love working with couples. I absolutely love working with couples. I also work a lot with the LGBTQ community. So those two are where I specialize in, and I really enjoy working with couples a lot, and whether it's LGBTQ or I said that wrong, but
all them letters.
Yeah,
all them letters. That's the way I do it too, because I teach, and so we're gonna get to that as well. Because by day I am an educator. So let's jump right in talking about the premarital counseling, because so many times that has gotten a bad rap. They're like, I'm not going to go talk about it. We love each other. Why we got to go to counseling?
Why not? Is what I say. you're about to enter into a commitment, a long-term commitment with a person forever, you know. And I believe that it's so important to come and get help, to come and address significant issues, differences that you might have. You're gonna in premarital counseling, you're gonna discover that you do have differences, things that you might not have thought about before, and you can understand those differences and kind of iron those out before you get 1-2 years down the line, and now it's a huge thing. So from the beginning of your relationship, you want to start with as healthy as a relationship as you can have. So I use a assessment. It's called Prepare Enrich. I'm a certified facilitator in that. And it's basically an assessment that it assesses your relationship over so many topics, from like communication, conflict management, financial management, sex and affection, relationship roles, children and parenting, like so many topics that it assesses your relationship on. There's a workbook we go through, and by the end of the sessions, which is probably between 6 and 8 sessions, you're in a better place because you've worked on your growth areas that the assessment has found that you need to work on, and you worked on, most couples need to work on communication that I've found. So you're just in a much better place than I think you would have been had you not gone to premarital counseling. And it's also, statistics show that 30% of couples who do go to premarital counseling have a better success rate.
Did y'all just hear that?
Marriage.
I got a new button, y'all. That means y'all need to be, y'all wonder why y'all ain't staying married. Y'all need to see, this is coming from the chick ain't never been married. So, that chair went down too far. Now I'm low. But just while I moved, y'all had to adjust the seat. So, that basically answers a lot of questions of why go to premarital counseling, because it's like, if that's going to help you stay married. Because I look at a lot of people, I know people, especially in our age group, I don't know what age group, but in my age group, that have been married. They got married like when we were in college. They've been divorced 3-4 times. And it's like, why you got to be making the same mistake, in my opinion. So what advice do you give somebody, let's say, that's been married 3 or 4 times, getting ready to get divorced, but they ready to get married again? What do you tell them?
I tell them to really try to look into what their expectations are, what are they looking for, making sure they understand what they're looking for, making sure they understand who they are, what they're looking for in a marriage, what they're looking for in a spouse, because if they're kind of hopping around, it seems like they might not understand fully what they're looking for and what they want in a relationship, their expectations when they go into a relationship.
But wouldn't that fall right back into what you were saying, one of the major problems, especially when we start talking about communication? So what do you find, what are some of the keys of helping people get better communication with each other?
My biggest thing that I love to teach couples, and it's very basic, is reflective listening. And it basically gives both parties a chance to be heard, understood, and when you're able to understand what your partner is saying, when you're able to understand and be empathetic, you're more open to be able to resolve issues. So reflective listening is just basically, and I don't want to get too far into it, but it's basically a technique where you both sit down, one person is speaking, the other person is listening.
Y'all taking notes. This is a note class tonight, y'all. Better be taking notes. Reflective listening. Yeah. Note 1.
It's really simple. You can Google it. But yeah, the other person is...
No, don't Google it. You go make an appointment to go to the good
make an appointment.
LP, what's it, the LGPC person. You don't go Google it. You go to her. Because you Google it, you go do it wrong.
That is true. That is true.
I want y'all to make sure it works.
But yeah, and we practice it a lot. So it's, just sitting down with your partner, one person... bringing up whatever issue they have, really conveying the emotion behind how they feel, and the other person listening, and then once they're done, that person repeating it back along with how they felt emotionally about it. And once you're able to repeat that back and also repeat back the just the emotion and how they felt about the issue, like, you're able to become more empathetic. And empathy is a big thing with me. Like, I feel like once... If you're able to be empathetic to someone and understand why someone feels a certain way, you're also able to just be able to resolve issues more, because you're more open to wanting to solve the issue and just solve issues. So I think empathy is big, and just doing that reflective listening exercise is huge, I think. So I do that. I make all my couples do that as far as homework.
All right, y'all, you got your homework. We're going to be doing a reflective listening. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with you. We're going to be talking more with Miss Tyra. Y'all, I'm excited about this because we're going to get some, y'all going to be taking some notes. Y'all going to be ready because all my single friends and all my married friends, y'all going to stay married, and those are single that want to get married, you're going to get married and stay married. And y'all, Kim over here making faces like she ain't trying to go down the aisle. But we'll be right back with you. Back with Miss Tyra. We had to take a quick break to make some mic adjustments. I knew that some of y'all were like having some problems with hearing. So y'all, we are back. If you y'all got to call in. You're not gonna let me sit here all night with Miss Tyra. The number's 443-454-3751. You know you got a question. 443-454-3751. I know you want to call in. We want to hear from you. Let your voice be heard. Join in the conversation. Miss Tyra, we are back. We had a note. We had a message from Facebook, and they said, well, they went to marriage counseling, and basically they got divorced. So does marriage counseling also help with knowing when to end it? In other words, knowing when to fold them, knowing when to hold them, knowing when to let it go.
I think that, just being there in that setting where you're in a safe place and you're able to just kind of express yourself, I think you can come to those realizations that things might just not work. It's not just because you're coming to counseling doesn't mean it's gonna be like it's not a fix type all the time. It's just to help you. It's to help you come to realizations of your own. So that could be a realization that you came to as a couple that it just wasn't. Okay,
working. So basically, even though I'm going to premarital counseling, do you have couples counseling? Because you do couples therapy.
Yes.
What consists of that, and when should they come?
As soon as they realize that they have an issue that they're not able to fix on their own. So a lot of couples wait. The average couple waits about 6 years into their marriage before they come to therapy to get help. And by then, it's likely bad. So like I said before, as soon as if you're experiencing an issue, you're kind of going in circles about it, not able to come up with a solution. You're fighting about it. That's
Give us some examples of some issues, because I'm the single one. See, my theory is once you get on my nerves, deuces. So I'm trying to do better. I'm trying to grow up. I'm trying to grow up going into 2019. But what are some of those major issues that you're seeing out there?
I mean,
outside of communication.
Yeah, a lot. I was going to say a lot of it is communication or just conflict management, not able to understand how to work through different issues. Infidelity, of course, is a huge one, but that's a whole nother.
Yeah, that's a whole nother show.
Yeah, thing, but it could be.
We're going to talk about that in January, Hunter. How to come back after somebody cheat on you, whether you in it to win it or whatever. Yeah, amen. Okay, come on. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but it could be cohabitation issues, just living together. It could be family issues, money issues, just not being able to talk about that in a productive way.
Right. So even with the cohabitation, and I mean, I'm old school. I was raised old school that you don't live with anybody before you marry. So what about that whole trying it out before you get married? Do you recommend that?
I think it's whatever, if that's what you decide to do. I'm not here to judge, of course, but I think that that's also when I would also say maybe come to premarital counseling, because you're making a commitment to live with somebody, which means you plan to be with them long term. So I also tell people who are moving in that direction.
Okay, because because I've heard a lot of people, make that let's move in together and try it out before we say quote unquote I do. But do they still need to go through, or would that? So say for instance now we living together. Do we still go to premarital counseling? I mean, how does that step work, or how do you make that a comfortable step?
When you move in with someone, you've never lived with that person before, so there are going to be issues that are coming about. I think a lot of the couples that I see, they moved in with each other and they've discovered like this might be a nightmare. Like, how do we deal with this? Like, you're messy, I'm not. Like, so there's lots of different issues that you have to work through when you take that step first. So like I said, but that's also a long-term commitment that you're moving in. I mean, it's not like So I think that I just give that option to those who are taking that step as well, because it's called premarital, but the assessment is, like I said, assessing your relationship, whether you're going to get married or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you recommend this even when you're dating? Because sometimes I think we waste a lot of time when we're dating somebody, or do we quote unquote wait for the spark and then go? I mean, how I guess I might even be going somewhere I probably shouldn't even be going, but how do you stop wasting your time even with the dating issue? Yeah,
but so dating isn't so, you go through the ups and downs of dating, but I wouldn't say come do a premarital counseling if you're just dating, just because, if you plan on it being long term, like say you're one of those people who don't want to get married and you're just like, we're going to date and move in, then like if you have that commitment though that you're going to be together for a long time. But if you're just dating,
la 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 la,
yeah,
don't waste your money.
You could come for a regular counseling.
Okay,
but I wouldn't,
that makes sense.
Because the assessment, that's more. So that's like a whole nother.
Oh yeah,
program,
that's on the that's on that drop down menu. Y'all better watch out. So the drop down, there is a drop down menu, and there's levels to this payment plan. Oh, y'all better use that good insurance. Insurance covers counseling now, right?
It does. Some insurances do.
Okay, yeah. See, y'all, they're making it easier and easier. See, last week we talked about EAP. Now you need to be doing it for when you get thinking about getting married and trying to stay together. So you also talk about, we kind of touched on it, but I do have to ask the questions because that is major. Because again, we're getting ready to go into the holidays. This is when a lot of people. Sad to say, this is when you find out a lot of stuff about people. So how do you deal with infidelity? Because women tend to we deal with it way differently than men. So what are some steps to deal with infidelity? And I guess let's take it from both sides. The man, we always talk about the man that cheats on the woman, but what happens when the woman cheats on the man?
Well, I don't think that there's a huge difference.
Okay.
Either way, the person who's been cheating on, I look at it and I think, it's looked at as, a lot of people don't know this, but it's trauma. The person has, been, especially if you're married, you've dedicated yourself to a person, you've been with someone for 5-6 years or however, and you find out that they cheat. That's a traumatic thing. So I pretty much say it's like a acute stress syndrome disorder, and because that's how bad it affects people who've been cheated on. So definitely coming to therapy, again, not with the idea that you're going to get fixed, like the therapist has a magic wand, but it's a lot to work through. You have to have patience, lots of patience, because it's not likely to be, this is not like an overnight process. It can take years because, like I said, it's trauma.
Wow. I never even thought about being, the whole infidelity thing being like a trauma, because usually we talk about trauma, we talk about rape, we talk about verbal abuse, we talk about different things that, or physical abuse. We never talk about infidelity being trauma. And maybe if we did talk about it with those words, as opposed to, oh, I was just sewing my royal hoops, or I just had to get out and do something, maybe we could deal with it more. Because again, why is it so hard? And I have to ask, what you within counseling, what are some of the answers that you get with people that say why it's so hard to commit? Because that's commitment.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't really ask that question, like why is it so hard to commit? I think that, people cheat for their different reasons, whether it's, they're just not satisfied in a relationship, or they're not feeling stable, they're insecure within themselves, they might be depressed. So people cheat for a lot of different reasons. But yeah, I've not asked like that question specifically. But when people come, I think they're in a very bad place. And just I always let people know that this is not an overnight thing, and really making both of them understand the idea that it's a traumatic event. I often recommend a book that they both read. One is called If It's the Man That Cheated, After a Good Man Cheats. I did not write that book, but it's a very good resource. And the other one is called After the Affair. But I asked that both, couples read it, and it's very helpful in helping them understand what exactly is happening.
Okay, so I got to ask. So what are some of the reasons that you hear why people cheat?
Yeah.
Why? I mean, what are people saying? Because I think as a woman, or as anybody that's been victim of infidelity, and you just want to know why.
And so a lot of times people do come in and they want to say, well, I cheated because, he or she wasn't doing this. But I kind of put the brakes on that, because when you sit there and you say, I cheated because this person made me, you're blaming that person. You're blaming the victim, and who's experiencing this trauma that you just did to them. So we kind of don't get into, the blaming thing. You can't sit there and blame, the person that you cheated on, that you've caused this trauma to. So yeah, we don't really go down that road too much.
Y'all see, she won't answer this question. Because y'all see she done danced around asking these questions, because we want to know what them Negroes are saying.
Well,
why they cheating on folk? Why they cheating on folk?
They do say
besides it's her fault, it's his fault.
Yeah, they do say it might have been like sex related, or they.
But see, that's what happened. Just because they not the
or
trapeze artist in the bedroom, and you go get the trapeze artist, then you realize that grass ain't green on the other side. I'm sorry, did I say all that out loud? Yeah, I said it, and I meant it, dog blasted. Sometimes you need a brain as opposed to an acrobat. Oh! I had to get it to myself on that one. But, I guess because so many times we use sex as that reason. But it has to be something else, because you can't tell me that that's the only reason why people cheat. It's like, or my other favorite one went, well, it's just in me to do it. My daddy did it, my uncle did it, my grandpapa did it, so now I got to do it. No.
But then you need to stay single. If that's what I'm just. If you desire,
y'all had to give my that much twice. That baby say you need to stay single, so you need to sell your wild oats before you go down that aisle.
Absolutely.
I love it. Love it. Yes. That makes so much sense. But, it's like so many people, I guess, with that whole fear of being alone. Is that something that you see? Do you hear that a lot now? Because it's like people are so scared to do things by themselves, go to the movies by themselves, go out to eat by themselves. Is that something that you're seeing happening, is why people are, for lack of a better term, getting married so fast and then getting divorced? Because the divorce rate is so high right now.
Not so much wanting to be alone, but I think there are a lot of people that do rush into to marriage, and that's when I kind of help them slow down, especially if they're coming for premarital and they have like a lot of growth issues, things that they need to work on. Yeah, we kind of like slow that down. Like, let's make sure this is the right step, because you all have a lot of things to work on. So not so much, being alone, but maybe wanting to. And this is not something that anyone's ever said to me, but I see a lot of people just wanting to have that wedding and that life and
that dream,
that dream, but not
and
so much.
They're seeing everybody else doing it, and now they want to do it.
Right, but are you doing this with the right person for the right reasons? So kind of slowing things down and taking a look at the bigger picture.
I love it.
That's why I love premarital counseling. That's another big reason.
Y'all better call her, y'all. Y'all better call her. Why y'all calling Tyrone? Y'all better be calling Miss Tyra. That's who you need to be calling. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with you. Y'all, I'm sorry. I got an itch, y'all. I'm sorry. But y'all know I'm so transparent and we live. But y'all, we are back. We're y'all, what is wrong? You know, you get one, you just start going, and I couldn't stop. All right, y'all, that was so nervous. I'm so sorry. Y'all know I'm not normally like this. But anyway, we are getting ready to go into the holidays. And one other thing that she cancels in is something that I have dealt with, people that I know around me have dealt with. And I have to talk about this because so many people are sitting around, especially during the holidays, and they're suffering in silence. They're not even walking around trying to fake it. They are walking around not sure what's going on. And what are the signs of, and then they could be going through this and not know. So that's why I have to ask, what are signs of depression?
Mm-hmm. So signs of depression are, feeling sad, loss of interest, when you're not able, you just feel like you normally go to the gym and do all these things and you just don't want to do those things anymore. If you're losing weight, gaining weight, sleeping too much, sleeping too little.
I just eat too much, y'all. I ain't lose or gain, so maybe that wasn't a sign of depression. I was just hungry. I'm just playing.
If you have thoughts of wanting to hurt yourself, things like that, and so we all have like sad thoughts, but this is like if it's over time, like maybe over 2 weeks or more, and you're feeling this way like every day. You're not able to get out of the bed. You're just fatigued, tired. That's depression.
Oh, wow. Because, so many times we feel fatigued and we'll be like, we'll talk about, I just need to get some iron. I just need to because can you be depressed and not know that you're depressed?
I think so. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what does that mean? Because, we so many times we have so many things that are going on in our lives. We're working 2 or 3 jobs. We're trying to take care for those that have kids. They're trying to take care of the kids. They're trying to let's say, live their dream. And then they feel overwhelmed. So, sometimes, outside of feeling tired, because, a lot of times we'll feel fatigued and be like, I'm just tired and I just need to rest. But could you be subconsciously being depressed?
Well, I think, all those symptoms, like if you're experiencing those, like especially the loss of interest and just not feeling like you can get out of bed, like those, like that severe, where you're just, you're tired, you don't want to do anything. You're normally hanging out with your friends and you don't want to. You're in the bed, you're in the house watching TV, just kind of moping around. You just have this weight on you.
Okay, so I got to stand up for the introverts. But what if I'm okay with that? because if I'm an introvert, a lot of things that you kind of said, we really look for in extroverts. I know y'all saying right now, oh, she lying. She ain't no introvert. No, really I am. I'm an introvert with extrovert tendencies. So I'm okay with sitting at the house by myself. I'm good with that. But how do you know, especially as an introverted person, that's okay with being by themselves?
Then that's fine.
But then but how do you know when you may have crossed that line? When it's just getting, I don't know, I guess I hate to say ridiculous, because we got different root measures of that. How do you know that it's time for you to kind of get your spark up, kind of do something, as opposed to falling into that place?
Right. So if you are an introvert and you like to stay in the house, I mean, I like to sit in the house and do nothing and watch TV and just kind of chill. But if it's affecting your daily life, like your work, you're not able to get up and go to work, like things that you need to do for yourself. If you're not able to bathe yourself and go, yeah, like that's when that's the difference.
Okay.
If you're not able to do those types of things.
Wow, that's major, because again, we're getting ready to go into the Christmas season. We just came out of Thanksgiving. Everybody's hanging out with families, and I have to come from a female perspective. You see, now Christmas is let's go for the kids. Everybody's la 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 la, and they're doing the family greetings. You get the pictures with the mothers and the babies and all this kind of stuff. What do you say to women, especially this time of the year, that are suffering from wanting to have children, wanting to be with children, when they're forced into a holiday of quote unquote about children? Because that can slip you into a depression as well. So what kind of advice can we give to, because everybody knows I have a lot of women that watch with a lot of variety of reasons. What kind of advice could we give them so they're not having to feel like they're less than, or that they need more, and just to be okay with that situation?
That's a tough one. I think, so you're saying like women who want to have kids and okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's a tough one. Yeah, I'm not that's not something I've ever been asked. But I'm
so sorry.
No, it's okay. I think just trying to understand what it is that you do enjoy. And I don't know if these women have explored, options, or if it's just not something that's, there's like so many different scenarios that we can go. But I think, just I think maybe counseling could help if they're, if this time of year is a year where it gets tough for them, just going to counseling and trying to work through that. But just not knowing like specifically, it's kind of hard to answer. But anytime that anyone's feeling low around a certain time of the year, like like you said, the seasonal depression, when around like fall and winter, when around that time, a lot of people do get depressed. It's getting dark earlier. Like that's what seasonal depression is. It's just kind of, you get down. So the same with people who are experiencing issues like that, just coming in to get help when you know that that's a time that's difficult for you. I think would be the best thing. Well,
one thing that I found, because I've had to deal with that, and I've met other people that have, is like you have to find something that gets you into your happy place. And I realized that if I can, and I'll just go ahead and be transparent. If I can find something to get me into that happy place, whether it's reading a book, whether it's going to the movies, because sometimes you do have to consciously take yourself out of the situation so you can get yourself together to go back into it. Because, and I think a lot of times we don't know how to pull ourselves away because we're so busy thinking about what other people are thinking, what other people are saying. So what do you say, again, what do you say to somebody that gets caught up into they said this and they said that, as opposed to listening to what's in them?
I think just going and understanding, like you have to try to understand who you are, and sometimes we don't know. Sometimes we just don't know who we are, and trying to get in touch with like our coping skills and figuring out who we are and what we like and what we like to do to kind of keep ourselves from going into a bad place. But I think coming to therapy is definitely a helpful thing, just so you can understand like those things about yourself. Like if you get into that downfall.
Well, y'all, at the end of the day, you know what we done heard? Y'all better go get y'all some therapy. I got mine. I got mine. But it's like we talk about that, but y'all, at the biggest thing at the end of the day is that we don't want you suffering in silence. We want you to get yourselves together because it's different. Because counseling now compared to 20 years ago, you can't tell me that it has not changed. Because the stigma. Because of the stigma.
Yeah.
And it's like now it's okay to say, hey, I got a counselor. Or no, you know what I think is funny now? People are they ask each other, who you see? That's like they got a referral program.
Yep.
And it's like, so do you get a lot of referrals?
I do. I do get a lot of referrals.
See? Yeah.
I do get a lot of referrals.
That's good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. So
I mean, it's good to have, like people who refer you because someone else has said, this person really helped me. So yeah, finding the right therapist is definitely important because sometimes you just don't.
Yeah, don't Google that.
Don't mesh with everyone.
Don't be going through them things. Find somebody like you do your dentist. You just don't go flipping. You go ask questions.
There are lots of good resources for therapists. For you, like women. One good one for women is Therapy for Black Girls.
Okay.
That's a very good resource to find. You just go in and put your zip code in.
Oh, that's a whole website. I remember seeing that. Therapy for Black Girls. Yes. Therapyforblackgirls.com. So yeah, I have I think we spoke to somebody last season from there. So yeah, that is an awesome site.
Yep.
Awesome site.
And I'm on there.
Yeah. That was a plug, y'all. That was a plug. So, since we started to plug, I want to thank you again for coming on, Tyra. So, tell us, how can we find you? How can we connect? And most of all, in closing, what would you like to share with the audience?
Well, first, I am on Facebook, Tyra Berger LGPC. Is it MS? It's MS LGPC. Tyra Berger MS LGPC. I'm on Instagram, Tyra Berger LGPC. I also have a website. My website is tyraberger.com. So you can definitely get in contact with me on there if you like to find more about my services. It's also listed on my website, fees, things like that. I must
say I did like that, y'all. Her fees are on there, so you don't have to be surprised because I think so many times people think that going to counseling is so expensive, and it's like when you look at her fees, it's like it's affordable, y'all. It's affordable, so don't let your finances hold you back from getting the help that you need. Yeah, and I'm sorry for cutting you off. No, it's okay.
And I do also accept Blue Cross Blue Shield, so that's
she
care
got some
first.
Good insurance, huh?
Yeah, so that's definitely helpful for people who have that insurance and want to come. I just wanted to say, first of all, thank you for having me. I appreciate you so much, and Kim, thank you for bringing me on. I just want to, I think it's so important that for people to seek help if they need it. Like you said, I think it's so important for couples especially to get help. That, like you said, divorce rate is pretty high, and it could be prevented if you just get some help. Just come in, work through your problems, and get some help for them. And I think, because I love working with couples, so I'm very passionate about it.
So in other words, y'all, that's who you go to when you're trying to go down that aisle.
Yeah, I'm very passionate about couples. I really enjoy working with them. So come get help.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Y'all, make sure you reach out and connect with Tyra. And we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with you. are back, guys. Thank y'all. We had a great show. We talked to Miss Tyra. She gave y'all some great things about counseling. I hope you do go out, look her up, because y'all, in this season, we have got to get ready, because we have to be ready, mind, body, and soul. Everybody's talking about going to the gym, going to get your hair done, going to get your nails done, but y'all stop. I need you to go get some counseling, because we have got to get our minds together, because if your mind isn't operating right, nothing else matters. We got to make sure that we're thinking right and clear, because we want to make sure that we're healthy all the way around. We want to be well-rounded people, because like we always say, it's only lonely at the top when you don't take anybody with you, but it's also lonely when your mind is not right. We want you to get to the top and be able to analyze everything clearly and be the best you that you can be. Now, next week, honey, December. Can you believe it? We are going to be in December. We got 2 guests coming on next week. It's going to be Miss Shannon Wilkerson. You have got to look at her website. She talks about purpose. And Natalie Gray Warren, she's a life coach. So that's why next week's show is called It's December. What you gonna do? I think that's what I called it. I think that's what it is, because I got excited when I saw them coming on the show. Oh, what's your plan? It's December. What's your plan? Yep, that's it. It's right there with you. It's December. What's your plan? They still go with what you gonna do. So I want y'all to tune in, get your questions together. Make sure that you're calling in, guys. We got to hear from you. We want to take this show. We are not going. We are taking this show to another level. We're getting ready to do some new things. So you have got to get ready. We want to see you. Make sure that you are going to the webpage, the conversations, DeborahFranklin.com, and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. We are everywhere. And most of all, hey, get your mind right, because in everything that we do, we got to make sure that we are on point and be like Elisha. Put the work in and ask for the mantle, and most of all, be ready to catch it. All right, guys, love you to life. See you next week, same time.